What if a killer never hid because he was never supposed to stand out in the first place? Between 1992 and 1994, along a stretch of highway that connects Indiana, Missouri, and Kansas, a series of murders unfolded that would confuse investigators for decades. No robbery, no sexual assault, no personal connection between victims, just a man walking into small stores and a rare .22 caliber firearm being raised without warning, then silence, and the killer vanishing back into traffic on Interstate 70, as if he was never there. To this day, he remains unidentified. At first, police didn't even realize they were dealing with a serial killer. The victims seemed unrelated, young women working alone in small specialty shops scattered across quiet towns, bookstores, florists, video rental shops, places where the day feels ordinary until it isn't. But then investigators noticed something disturbing. Each crime shared the same pattern. A man enters the store, calm, controlled, no rush. He approaches, raises a weapon, a single .22 caliber shot, and leaves. No theft, no struggle, no hesitation. It wasn't chaos, it was precision, and it was repeating across state lines. What made the case so disturbing wasn't just the murders, it was what was missing. There was no evidence of robbery, nothing taken from the stores, no signs of sexual assault, no message left behind. For investigators, this was a nightmare scenario. A killer with no financial motive, no emotional trigger, and no identifiable pattern beyond geography and vulnerability. The only consistent element was the weapon, a rare .22 caliber firearm, small, quiet, easily concealed, and terrifyingly effective. Then something changed the investigation. A survivor, one victim, lived long enough to describe her attacker. Her account would become the only real glimpse into the man behind the killings. She described a white male, reddish-brown hair, and a strange detail investigators never forgot: a languid eye, drooping slightly, unnatural, memorable. From this, a police sketch was created. It spread across departments in multiple states. For the first time, the killer had a face. But a face alone was not enough, because he still had the entire highway system to disappear into. Witnesses reported the same unsettling detail in multiple cases. A man seen entering the store shortly before the murders, always calm, always unremarkable, sometimes described as just another traveler passing through, and then, after the gunfire, he was gone. No one saw him flee directly, no one tracked him onto the road, just an empty store and Interstate 70 nearby. This led investigators to a terrifying possibility. Was he using the highway itself as an escape route? A truck driver, a traveling salesman, someone whose life was built on movement and invisibility, or worse, someone who lived in plain sight, blending into every town he passed through. As the murders spread across states, jurisdiction became a major obstacle. Different police departments, different procedures, different databases. By the time patterns were linked, the killer had already moved on. Task forces formed, sketches were distributed, gun ballistics were compared across crime scenes, and the .22 caliber connection confirmed one chilling truth: these were not isolated incidents. They were connected, but connection did not equal identification. The killer left almost nothing behind. No fingerprints that matched, no known suspects that stuck, no confession, no mistake, just silence repeated. Over time, theories multiplied. Some investigators believed he was a long-haul truck driver, someone who could commit a crime in one town and be hundreds of miles away by nightfall. Others suggested a traveling worker, a salesman, technician, or contractor. But one theory remains the most unsettling: that he wasn't a drifter at all, that he lived a completely normal life, a home, a job, a routine, and every so often he left that life behind to become someone else entirely. The real horror is not a hidden monster. It is a familiar face that no one ever questioned. More than 3 decades have passed. The I-70 killer remains unidentified. The sketch still exists in archives. The weapon remains a critical but incomplete clue, and the highway still carries traffic through the same routes where the murders occurred. Investigators investigators have never stopped considering one disturbing possibility: that the killer never disappeared at all, that he simply stopped or changed or adapted, and that somewhere he may have watched the entire investigation unfold from a distance, from within the crowd, unnoticed. The I-70 killer case is not just about what happened, it is about what was never seen. A man who moved through states like shadows through light. No motive, no identity, no warning, just a pattern that ended without resolution. And the question that remains is simple: how many times did he pass you without you ever noticing?